at the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was formless and void. There's something already there. So Dan McClellan does a good job in multiple videos walking you through the Hebrew, and we won't go into it now, but there was something already there. There was chaos. It was tohu vabohu, formless and void, or whatever we want to translate that. But God approaches it, and he was hovering over it. And this ruach, this wind or breath or spirit or whatever you want to call it, is hovering over the face of the deep. And he just says, let there be light. He's not even commanding it. He's just, let there be light. And then boom, there's light, right? And so he's starting to bring order to this chaos because this is a priestly version of the story.
And when we're talking about chaos here, I think it's also worth noting that in some of these other traditions we have mentioned, chaos gets personified as one of these primordial deities as well. Yeah. So when we're seeing this showing up here, maybe this is a wink to we're playing in that same tradition, but changing the interaction. Again, God's not having to fight the waters. God's not having to fight the chaos, which normally I think if we're reading the English versions, we skip right over. We go, oh, there's chaos. Right. No big deal, because we're removed from that context of chaos as a deity and the waters as a deity, which if you're reading Genesis 1 in that context, then the speech and the distance suddenly brings so much more power to this moment.
That's right. And I've mentioned this in Cities That Built the Bible, and we've talked about this in some of the videos about Ugarit and some of the Canaanite deities, the Ugaritic deities. What Israel did, ancient Israel basically did, because they're a monotheistic, or they claim they become a monotheistic religion, is they deify, they depersonify these deities. Now, there was a god of the ocean, a god of the sea called Yam. And so Yam is, Ugaritic deity. He's the god of the ocean. He's very powerful. And in Hebrew, the word for the ocean, the word for the sea is Yam. He's not the god of the ocean. It's just the ocean. So God can fight against, the Hebrew God can fight against Yam, the ocean deity, or he can just do things to the ocean. And so when you're dealing with, once you become a monotheistic religion, you're not fighting against the god of the sea, you're just manipulating the ocean. But when you come from a context where there was a god of the ocean, you're doing the same thing. God, the Hebrew God, has power over the vast ocean. Wow, he can do that, right? Same thing with death, right? Mot, right? This, or Mawet, right? You've got this god of death, right? He comes in with the cloak and it's death, right? It's the reaper. And God has power over death, right? Has control over death. That's pretty impressive. And we mentioned how there is a few verses, especially in the older prophetic lines, the poetry, that he still might be referring to the god of death, right? It still might be the case. But that's what's going on here. There is clearly some references, some allusions to God basically saying, look at verse 4, and God saw the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness, dark day, night. God has power over light and dark. That's how powerful God is. And he just speaks it.